average cost of a workers' comp insurance policy? Although this question is asked by many people across the country and in various industries, it's a really hard one to answer. Hey, I'm Sari from Kickstand Insurance, and in this video we're going to discuss why it's virtually impossible to get an average cost for workers' comp insurance and what you can do instead if you want to figure out what it would cost for your business. So, why is getting an average cost for workers' comp insurance impossible? Answer: it has to do with how the rates are calculated. In order to calculate the base rate, the state gathers all the claims information for every single industry and sets a rate for each one. Carriers don't pull numbers out of thin air. They have to work off the base rate that the state set. Keep in mind, rates will be different from one state to the next, also from one industry to the next. Some industries are inherently more dangerous and are much more prone to injury than other industries. Those risk-prone injuries will have a higher rate. Of course, the base rate is just where it starts. Insurance companies are allowed to add additional charges to that base rate and charge that to the policyholders. So let's take some examples of how this works in the real world and why it's virtually impossible to get an average cost for all workers' comp insurance policies. In Florida, the rate for a landscaper right now, 2023, is $5.83. So you would divide your projected payroll by 100, multiplied by this rate of $5.83, and you'd get your projected premium. If the payroll was $50,000, the annual premium would be $2,915. There would also be some taxes and fees, which usually amount to about $250. If this is all gibberish to you, and you want to understand what I'm saying, check out this quick video on how to calculate workers' comp insurance premiums. But that math, if you understand it, it's pretty easy, right? You get the rate, you have your payroll, you punch them through, you get a number. So why can't we get an average? So here's where the fun starts. Florida had a rate of $583. On the other hand, Virginia has a rate of $3.30. 583, $3.30. Florida is almost double the rate that Virginia is. Here's another example. The rate for clerical, which is class code 8810, in Florida is 15 cents. In Georgia, it's 9 cents. Although that gap is not as big as our landscapers, it's still a decent sized gap, considering you're only talking about cents here. So now let's look at a chart. This is a chart that compares the two class codes we were just talking about, clerical and landscaping, across 10 different states. The blue columns are clerical, the green ones are landscapers. On the left, we have the dollar amount, and on the bottom, we have all the states. So, what can we tell from this chart? For starters, there is a very big difference in rates between the states. Check out how the height of those green bars are all over the place. Second, look at the difference between the blue columns, they're so small you could barely see them, and the green columns. This really shows that jobs with fewer physical hazards, that are much less likely to get injured, such as a secretary, is going to be much cheaper than a more risky job, such as landscaping. So it becomes clearer now that it's pretty hard to get an average across different states and different industries because the numbers fluctuate dramatically and vary from different industries. Now, if that wasn't enough, insurance companies can also add credits and debits. In New Jersey, for instance, insurance companies can increase the price of the premium by a 25% debit or give you a 25% credit. That would be nice, no? Also, insurance companies sometimes offer dividends and rebates. This means at the end of the year, if you had a really good year and didn't have a lot of claims, they'll give you some money back as a reward. How nice is that? Therefore, calculating average costs are all over the place because some of it depends on the insurance company and how well your claims history was that year. Okay, so if you came to this video to try to get a ballpark figure of what it's going to cost for your business, and now you're like, woo, that was overwhelming. Sorry, I'm going to walk away from this workers' comp stuff. Hang on one more second. At a certain point, in most states, you're probably required to have a workers' comp insurance policy. And even if you're not required, it's actually a really good idea to have one. For starters, workers' comp helps injured workers get help. It pays for medical bills, for lost wages. It helps them get on their feet and get back to work. Workers' comp also helps your business because if you don't have a workers' comp policy, you're responsible to pay for those things. And a bad injury could even bankrupt a small business. So how can you figure out what a workers' comp policy is actually going to cost for your business? You can pick up the phone and call a local insurance agent. If they've worked with similar companies to yours in the past, same industry and similar size, they'll be able to give you a ballpark figure. If you want an easier way to do it, you can go to a site such as kickstandinsurance.com that offers free instant quotes and put in some ballpark numbers. Take a guess about how many employees you'd have, 1 secretary, 2 that do the work. Pick a ballpark number on what you plan to pay them, and boom, it will give you an instant quote for your business. That quote is much closer to what you will actually end up paying than an average cost of workers' comp insurance policies. So what are you waiting for? Head to kickstandinsurance.com and get your free instant quote. Good luck! Remember to like and subscribe for more business and insurance tips. See you next time.